Specifications and software. The A555LF is powered by an Intel Core i5-5200U, which is a dual-core CPU with speeds of up to 2.7 GHz. There's no turbo boost here, but you do get hyper-threading. There's a total of 8 GB of DDR3 RAM in a dual-channel configuration, a 1 TB hard disk 5400 RPM, and Nvidia GeForce 930M graphics card with its own 2 GB of memory. Other specifications include Wi-Fi BGN, Bluetooth V4.0, Gigabit LAN, a VGA webcam, and a 2-cell lithium polymer battery. The battery capacity might seem small, but since this is lithium polymer, we should expect more runtime than a similar-sized lithium-ion battery would provide. The non-HD webcam is a bit disappointing, especially if you'll be video chatting a lot. The dedicated GPU is a lower mid-range part from Nvidia based on the Maxwell architecture, which should be good for gaming at low to medium settings depending on how demanding the game is. Asus ships the A555LF with Windows 10 Home 64-bit edition and bunch of its own as well as third-party applications. From Asus's stable, we have Live Update, which will automatically look for latest drivers and software updates, Splendid Utility, which lets you change the display's color temperature, USB Charger Plus, which lets you charge mobile devices quicker when the laptop is on, Web Storage, which is Asus's own cloud storage service, and WinFlash, which lets you update the BIOS if needed. Asus also installs Giftbox, which is like a mini app store with special offers on paid apps. Finally, there's Asus HiPost, which is somewhat like Evernote but uses OneDrive to sync files between devices. You also get McAfee Live Safe Internet Security Limited Time subscription, a trial version of Microsoft Office 365, and 25 GB of Dropbox space for 6 months. Performance. The 15.6-inch display on the A555LF is just like any other you've seen in the budget laptop segment. The low resolution of 768 x 1366 mains icons and text exhibit jagged edges. The screen is glossy, making it very reflective in most situations. The viewing angles are not great either, so there's a very small sweet spot where the picture looks like should. Anything beyond this results in either an underexposed or oversaturated picture. Thanks to the decently powerful Core i5 and ample RAM, general performance is good. Applications run well and we didn't have any issues with multitasking either. In our synthetic benchmarks, POVRA returned a trace time of 8 minutes and 12 seconds. 3D Mark Firestrike gave us an overall score of 1309 and PCM Mark 8 returned 2,988. 3,126 and 2,732 points for the Home, Creative and Work benchmark suites respectively. As this laptop has a dedicated graphics card, we ran a variety of real-world games to gauge its true potential. We started off with Crysis 3, and straight away bumped up the system spec and texture resolution to high. We were averaging about 24 FPS, which isn't much, but the game was still manageable. Dialing some of the settings down to medium gave us a smother frame rate. Tomb Raider 2013 returned an average of 26 FPS at the native resolution and everything turned up to ultra. Switching to the high preset resulted in a more playable frame rate of 35 FPS, without having to sacrifice much on visual quality. Battlefield 4 also ran very well in medium settings. Pushing the graphics settings higher caused some stutter during heavy firefights, but overall, this is pretty decent performance for a lower mid-range chart. Games such as FIFA 16 will easily run a lot better with everything maxed out. The GeForce 930M also supports Nvidia's Optimus. You can choose which applications use it and which don't, thereby saving a bit of battery life. The keyboard is comfortable to use for long typing sessions and the keys seem relatively durable. They do have a slightly spongy feel, which some might not like, but they are quiet and make very little noise even with vigorous typing. The laptop features Asus's ice cool technology for keeping the palm rest cool, which seems to do its job well. We did notice the area under our right palm got a bit warm during gaming. The trackpad supports additional gestures for Windows 10, so for example a 3-finger tap brings up Cortana. There's also a mobile control feature which lets you remotely control the laptop from your phone using Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. This initially refused to work for us, but after updating the software and making several attempts, we managed to get it to work. Audio quality is one of the strong points of the Asus A555LF. The Sonic Master speakers feature electronic wizardry from Ice Power, which is owned by Bang & Olufsen. The bundled Audio Wizard application lets you switch between various audio modes depending on the application you're running. The sound from the downward-firing speakers is surprisingly loud and crisp, which makes it very good for music, movies and even gaming. Bass response is a bit mild as expected, but the overall aural experience is not shrill or tinny. The laptop easily handles 4K videos thanks to hardware decoding on the onboard GPU, but the screen resolution isn't enough to really enjoy them. The 2-cell lithium polymer battery put on a good show, as we got 2 hours and 7 minutes in the Battery Eater Pro benchmark. In regular use with Wi-Fi enabled, we managed to get close to 4 hours before needing to reach for the charger.